We're about to talk to John Nabors. This was a big headline making its way around Arkansas. Hunter Yurachek speaking to the Little Rock Touchdown Club. So what exactly did he say? Essentially, he said Arkansas is not set up to win a national championship. I didn't hear the whole speech. Sometimes these things are out of context. So let's talk to John Nabors, who has his pulse on everything. And I'd say, John, great to see you. I know the loss the other day was a big topic of conversation, but take us through what exactly did Yurachek say, first of all. Good afternoon.
Well, good afternoon, Paul, and I think you nailed it. He said exactly what you thought he said. He was basically telling everybody in Razorback Nation that you can't win a championship in football, no matter what. Financially, Arkansas is just not set up for that, so you just got to get used to it. It's just going to be the way it is, which really has rubbed a lot of Razorback fans for the wrong reasons. Obviously, there's been a lot of other things that have happened with Yurachek, some of the comments that he's made, but it's almost a little bit shocking to see that type of reaction from Razorback fans, but also more so the reaction that Hunter Yurachek had when being asked about simple things like, hey, can you win a national championship at Arkansas? Never have I heard an AD say, nope, can't happen, can't do it.
John, I've had the honor of being at that club a couple of times, and I told Basil the last time I was there 2 years ago, it's the best football club in America, hands down. The people there are passionate. They'll line up. They give. They care. I mean, this is the salt of the earth of that state. So before I even get to the more complex question, what was the reaction in the room?
Well, there was a lot of confusion, almost to the sake of, okay, did he say what we think he just said? But yet he's acting like it's all fine, so maybe it's just okay. You know, it's one of those things to where it's almost like if you're an official in a football game, it's like you see a call in real action and you think you got it right. You think it may be one way, but then you got to go back to the booth and review it. And then you're like, oh, okay, so that's what happened. That to me was pretty much the reaction from everyone in the room, where they just heard it and then they moved on from it. But then once they resaw it and they went back and watched the replay of it on video, they were pretty floored. I think most Razorback fans are shocked that the athletic director said that to them and in that capacity at that Little Rock Touchdown Club, which, as you mentioned, is an awesome club and an awesome thing that many people have gone to and many comments have been made. But this was the first time an AD has said anything controversial from Arkansas.
Listen, we know Arkansas has some limitations, but I've always thought when looking at the history of that school and looking at the people that support it, that it doesn't need to apologize to anyone about its stature. It's a great fan base. It's a great facility, great tradition. So I'm going to throw it back to you to explain, why do you think he said it? Is it true? And if it is true, how much responsibility does he have for it being true?
Well, you could make the argument that the person that can support the football program better than anybody is the athletic director to set it up for success. But to me, I have always felt about Arkansas football different from all the other sports is I think they can win a national championship in all the other sports, but football, without question, is going to be the most difficult. But it's always come up to recruiting, in-state talent, because the state of Arkansas, as much as I love it, it doesn't produce a lot of high-level talent year in and year out in football like it would in basketball or baseball or anything like that. That's usually just been the reasons why. But now what Hunter Yurachek is approaching it as is it's strictly financially. He even said that it's finances. Financially, it's just not to that point. But instead of being able to lay out a plan or say, hey, how do we get to this point? There was just nothing there. It's almost like, hey, this is the way it is, and there's nothing that could be done about it. And that's why I think Razorback fans were extremely frustrated in the comments. But to me, I think Arkansas can win a championship. I know it's difficult. I know it's next to impossible. I know they're not to the same programs of the Texas, LSU, Georgias around the world. But listen, we saw South Carolina and Ole Miss be this close to getting into the playoff last year. We saw teams like Indiana, like Arizona State be in there. And I think a lot of Razorback fans look at it as, hey, why not us? If they can do it, we can do it. We have to have just the right pieces in place. And what Yurachek's comments made it sound like is that there wasn't really any option. You just have to deal with this and deal with being average, being 6-6, and take it and like it and get over it.
Well, let me say this about Hunter Yurachek, and just for the record, I don't live in Arkansas, but I've been there a few times, and I've seen the work there. He has always had, John, a reputation as one of the top people in the industry, and it wasn't a year or two ago where he was selected as the best athletic director. So I bring all that up because he has the credentials. Again, sometimes you can't tell the truth, or if you do, you end up having to defend why you said what you did. But in your mind, and I know you answered it a minute ago, but is it that the program isn't capable of winning a championship, or is it not capable under the current leadership? And I'm not talking about Yurachek. He's not the football coach. Sam Pittman is.
Well, I think it's a combination of all of it, Paul. I believe that you can win a championship at Arkansas. And if you can't, lie to me about it. I think that's what Razorback fans are saying. Hey, even if you can't, make us think that you can, because that's what's going to get us excited. That's what's going to get us to donate to the Razorback Foundation, to any NIL collective, to support the program, if we at least have some sort of belief and some sort of confidence that it can be done. But when it's set up this way, it seems like there's just been one obstacle after another that's kept him from doing it. We know Hunter Yurachek, he's done a lot of great things. So I don't want to make it sound like it's a personal thing. He's done a lot of great things as athletic director. Arkansas is doing a really good job in all the other major sports, but we know that it's about football. And he's been very much anti-NIL. He's been kind of putting his own obstacles in front of him to have the fans try to help out, whether it's not wanting a collective, whether it's just not understanding the back and forth of revenue share versus NIL. And the biggest thing about this, Paul, and why I think it's just a bigger deal than maybe some people make it out to be, is if you don't think other SEC schools that are recruiting against Arkansas aren't going to take that clip from Hunter Yurachek and show it to the guys that they're trying to fight for with Arkansas, saying, hey, don't go and be a Razorback because they don't have any money, they don't pay, and they don't think that if you went there, you're good enough to win a championship. Also, the same players on the team right now. He's basically saying, hey, we got a discount for you. All right. We just settled for you. We couldn't afford better players. So here you go. It just seems like it's a bad message to send all the way around. And I just feel like if Arkansas is going to get to that point, they got to have a different line of thinking. They have to have a different culture. They have to have a winning culture. And I'm going to age myself, but they need to have a Frank Broyles winning culture like they used to have back when Arkansas was winning at a high level in all the major sports, but especially football.
Well, John, listen, you don't have to be my age or even in your age group to know who Frank Broyles was. He's the most legendary AD and football coach in Arkansas, which brings me to the field because Arkansas played well. They lost. They have another really big game this week, and for a couple of weeks. I mean, they are in a part of the schedule where there is opportunity, but there's also danger. Just take us through the next few weeks, because at the end of this run, there may be more serious conversations than the one we're having right now.
Well, I think you put it yesterday, Paul, that the SEC is as wide open as it's been. And I think that that's one of the things Arkansas fans right now currently are still being hopeful for in the rest of the season. Yes, they lost to Ole Miss, and it was very frustrating. And I've always kind of made the joke that Arkansas under Sam Pittman has always been a team that does just enough to not win, because that's how it always feels. They put themselves in a position, but they just never get there. And there's just not a trust factor to that. But because of some of the teams that Arkansas is going to be facing this year, Memphis coming up, it's winnable. Arkansas, if you got Bobby Petrino and Taylon Green performing like they did, you can go out and beat anybody. You just need a couple of stops. You just need some sort of turnover, some sort of mistake to be made by the other team. But I think Razorback fans are just apprehensive because I want to throw a stat at you, Paul. It's 100% correct because I'm great with numbers, obviously. But Arkansas, since Bobby Petrino wrecked that motorcycle in 2012, they are 16-42 in one-possession games in football. 16-42 since then. Sam Pittman is 7-18. It's not been very good. So even when Arkansas has leads, even if they're in a close game, until they see them close it out, they're just not going to believe in it. But as far as on the field, talent-wise, I think Arkansas can play with anybody on their schedule. It's just a matter of, can they do the little things to be the difference and make wins out of it? I still think this is a good football team. I still think they can do something with it, but they just got to find ways to win instead of shooting themselves in the foot.
Always great, John. Thank you for coming on. We were curious what was going on out there. We heard your version of it, and we'll talk to you very soon. John Nabors with his thoughts on what Hunter Yurachek had to say in Little Rock. We'll get some more reaction to that when we come back.